Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Many times, some political leaders create a flutter. They release, express an idea, and that idea creates a storm. And more often than not, these storms in the teacup, as they're perceived, become historical and they're momentous in their decision. One such idea which has been given by President Trump is not a good idea. It's a great idea. As a matter of fact, he hasn't done anything different. He's continuing the policy of the United States in expanding its territories as well as in being a very far-sighted leader, the sort of the leadership which America displayed when they purchased Alaska from Russia. At that time, Alaska was not deemed to be very important. And the decision to purchase Alaska was considered foolish. And today, imagine what has happened. Similarly, the idea to purchase Greenland is not genuine. In 1946, Harry Truman, the then president, had tried his level best to purchase Greenland for $100 million. He was the president who ended the global war, the Second World War. And he was the president who sat on a course of opposition to the communism and ensured that the action would be taken to see that Russia is ultimately defeated. Nevertheless, that idea was not accepted that time. But he wasn't crazy, he was intelligent. And since he was intelligent, the ideas were not criticized at that time. Nevertheless, when Trump gave the idea, there was real opposition, and not only from Denmark, but also from so-called American patriots. These patriots were basically allergic to whatever President Trump says. Now, Greenland is a self-ruling part of Denmark. There's a very curious relationship in between them. Located between the North Atlantic and Arctic Ocean, for all its economic need, it depends on Denmark. And the curious relationship is that while it is fully independent of domestic affairs, its defense and the foreign policy is controlled by Danish authorities. Copenhagen is the final authority. The total population of Greenland is 56,000 people. Now in May, when Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that Russia was behaving aggressively and China's actions were also dangerous, and the defense treaty between Denmark and the United States, signed in 1951, would give US military rights over Thule Air Base in Greenland. And as a matter of fact, that agreement gives America the right to base their army there. And when you have your army there, buying has no meaning. Already, as I said, the defense is the responsibility of Denmark, and that's being done by USA. And then, buying Greenland is not something exceptional. As I said, history shows Alaska was purchased. And then in 1917, Denmark itself had sold to USA islands in West Indies called the Danish West Indies Islands. And now they are called United States Virgin Islands. These United States Virgin Islands were purchased by USA for $25 million in 1917. So what's odd in that? If you can buy Alaska, if you can buy Virgin Islands, so what's wrong with that? And yet there is derision. Yet there is criticism. Yet Denmark, the same country which sold earlier. So the problem is not to the idea. The problem is to the persona of Trump. People cannot purchase Trump. American purchase of Greenland would in fact be an extraordinary deal for the USA and for the Greenland. It will be good for the security of USA, its economic interest and environmental protection. And it will be good for Canada because Canada would also be protected from predations of Russia and China. And again, as I said, historical, there's nothing wrong. Following Denmark's fall to Nazi Germany in 1940s, it was the American forces which had protected Greenland. Had American forces not been there, Greenland would have been a part of the Nazi butchery. So the roots of the American Greenland comradeship are old, but not formalized as a union. Now, there's a strategic value in purchasing Greenland from the American point of view. Though the Air Force base at Thule in Greenland offers critical intelligence capabilities to conduct satellite operations and detect possible over the North Pole missile launch from and against China and Russia. So, Thule allows US to protect Canada and USA. And it's more than that. The deep water port in Thule and the long runway, the base provides a logistics hub for the operations in the Arctic. So, for its own security and for the security of Europe, including Denmark, if Greenland is formally handed over to USA, it would not be a bad idea. It would give US military the means to deter and defeat prospective aggression, Russia in particular. And Russia has been trying its level hard to exploit the resource-rich areas of Arctic. So from that point of view, the idea of Trump purchasing Greenland is very authentic. Then, this would strengthen the national security benefits, not only, as I said, the USA. Look at the political sensitivity in Denmark. The US could station forces in Greenland, including intermediate range missile forces. And Russia's fear that is stalking Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden about the missile attack would be thwarted. Their Arctic ambitions would be put on ice, frozen. And then it's going to be helpful because of the huge resources that Greenland has. It is rich in hydrocarbons. It has a huge reserve of rare earth metals. And those metals, rare earth metals, are only available either in Greenland or in China. So, US, which is being threatened by China that the supply of the rare earth would be stopped, would have their availability from Greenland. And China's blackmailing tactics would not be successful. And Trump, in his endeavor to make America great, naturally would like to take over Greenland. No, he would not indulge in aggression, that everybody knows. So the best thing is a commercial transaction. The way Denmark sold Virgin Islands, let it sell Greenland. Virgin Islands was sold for $25 million, and this they are willing to purchase for maybe $200 million. $100 million was the offer given by Truman. Maybe it's increased 10 times, 50 times, but that's a matter of deal. And then look at the benefit to Greenland. It has just a small population of, excuse me, it has a, as I said, small population of 56,000. And it's not able to exploit its resources. If it could exploit its resources, it would be one of the richest countries of the world. I'm not saying the richest, but definitely one of the richest countries of the world. And as such, it will be good for them. There would be massive influx of American investment. The surge in tourism alone would offer huge economic benefits to Greenland. So their resources would be developed, used for their purpose. Their fishing would get international impetus, and Greenland does control a lot of fishing, fresh fishing. And then tourism. And then from the global point of view, it's good because Greenland offers huge opportunities for environmental protection. The waters of Greenland are teeming with numerous species, so biodiversity. And not only of others, but just even if a whale, I think there are more than 25 species of whale which are inhabiting the waters of Greenland alone. The species of flowers and animals is again incomparable. So are the birds. Birds of cold, which are specific to Greenland. There is a huge wildlife reserve, and it would give American and international scientists to study Arctic environment from a unique vantage point. At present, that benefit is not coming to the humanity. So it's good for Greenland, it's good for USA, and it's great for the international community. Now, the Trump administration confirmed on August 19, that is yesterday, that they are interested. And the president would like to buy this largest island in the world. And it's quite an interesting story and shows only the foresight. Denmark is an ally. Greenland is a strategic place. So why not join hands? And naturally, if it's a part of the USA, all the benefits that accrue to the citizens of USA accrue to the Greenlanders. It's a reality that Denmark politicians have rejected the idea. Greenland's Minister of Foreign Affairs rejected it, and they say that simply not, the island is not available for purchase. And they say that Greenland is rich in valuable resources, purest water, ice and fish stocks, seafood, renewable energy, and so on. But then there's one part of that statement which was made by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, which people have been ignoring. The last part of the statement is, we are open for business. Now, business of what? If they are thinking business only of investment, that's quite possibility. But self-interest, the most powerful interest. So why not hand it over for the mutual benefit? And let's not forget, Greenland is gaining attention. Not only it has USA Express, but China and Russia are quite interested in occupying Greenland. And if they want to occupy, Denmark doesn't have the sufficient capability to face them. It will have to revert to USA. So only thing is take the best benefit today rather than give it to them after bloodshed or war or whatever. So President Trump is visiting next month Denmark. Whether this sale would be on the agenda or not, I don't know. Because the agenda has officially not been released. But one thing is sure, that during the meetings with the prime ministers of Denmark and Greenland, there's going to be a trilateral meeting. It's quite possible that something might emerge on these lines. But definitely, as I said, US purchase of Greenland is not a good idea alone. It's a great idea. Great for USA, excellent for Greenland, and extremely useful for the humanity at large. Thank you.